I swear one of these days, Critical Role is gonna get me. What was this episode? Anyway, let's just get into it. Hello and welcome to Critcast, where I'm going to be discussing episode 127 of Critical Role's Campaign 2 on this week's, Critcast episode. I'm Seyi, as always, the host of the podcast, and let's just quickly jump into it. So, we start off with the Mighty Nine, finishing off from Bo and Yasha's date and how cool and lighthearted and very sweet and adorable and kind of sad as well as that was. And we start off sort of a lighthearted morning where the Mighty Nine are trying to figure out what they're going to do next. Essentially, if you remember, I think they're still in Rexentrum or in the same city as Astrid Edelwolf and Trent Ickathon. Anyway, what they're trying to do is if you remember from the previous episode, Caleb had asked Astrid for the necklaces that would stop the Mighty Nine from being scryed on or, divination spells and all that kind of thing. So she tells him that she's going to try to figure that out for them. At the start of this episode, they go to meet up with Astrid to see what developments she may have, made, what progress she may have made if she has found the necklace and stuff like that. So she tells Caleb that essentially she has made some progress. She's discovered a location where, they can get these necklaces, enough of these necklaces for the Mighty Nine. But unfortunately, that location is in the sanitarium where Caleb was abandoned and trapped in for years. And it's essentially the same place where Trent Ickathon lives or works or whatever. I don't know the distinction, whatever. So she tells them they are going to have to sneak into that. And then she also gives them some blueprints of the tower and the sanitarium. And she's like, you're going to have to get the necklaces yourself. So without even taking a break or stopping to really think about it, the Mighty Nine set off immediately on a heist to break into Trent Ickathon's backyard. Literally. Now, starting off, I was like, first of all, I was suspicious. Okay, maybe because I kind of have never trusted Astrid, and I think she's up to something, and she's trying to use Caleb to rise up through the ranks or something. So I was suspicious. So I was thinking maybe the Nine would also be just as suspicious of her, and maybe they would take this information with a grain of salt, and instead of just jumping head first into it, they would take some time to plan out some things. But that's not what they did. Literally, what the Mighty Nine did is they literally went to the sanitarium, and 20 feet from the entrance of the sanitarium, or from the gate to the sanitarium, that was where they made their plans to break in. Is it just me, or I don't know, if you're trying to, maybe break into the Pentagon, you wouldn't, make plans like right outside? But maybe that's just me, maybe that's just me. But yeah, our wonderful Mighty Nine and their one brain cell take themselves to the sanitarium. And right there, just mere feet from the gates, from the walls, they make their plans. And then the rest of the episode is them breaking in and trying to get the necklaces that they need to stop scrying eyes from, seeing them. Now, in true Mighty Nine fashion, the plans that they have, everything just goes tits up straight from the start. It's just a chaotic nightmare. That's basically the only way I can describe their plans and their heist. But anyway, the heist starts off with the Nine splitting up and a group of them going inside and a group of them staying outside. The people who stayed outside were, if I remember correctly, Ford, Yasha, and Caduceus. And so the rest of them went inside, but Bo kind of also split up from the rest, and she went up a tower, and she was kind of stuck up the tower because there was a sleeping guard, and she didn't know what to do, if she should, kill him or move or whatever. So it was kind of funny. Bo was stuck up this tower almost the entire time. Anyway, so we follow Jester, Veth, and Caleb as they go in and try to steal the necklaces, or I can't remember the specific names of the necklaces, but we follow them as they try to, make their way in, sneak in and sneak out, and they find a bunch of guards as usual. And Jester, in her truly, cute, disarmingly cute, but kind of creepily dangerous form, she sort of, disarms this guard, uses, I think maybe like a charm person or some, variant of that, and she disarms this guard and she has it under control. And then it just gets fucking scary. Like, it's the stuff of nightmares. This episode was kind of nightmarish how grotesque and brutal the killings were, starting off with Caleb using a black hole spell. I can't remember the specifics of it, but he uses a black hole spell to turn 2 guards into just piles of bloody metal. That's how best I can describe it. It is so fucking brutal that I kept like tweeting in my live tweets. I kept saying like, the Mighty Nine, are we the baddies? You know that meme? I kept tweeting that, and eventually even the Mighty Nine started to say that themselves. Even the cast, they started to say that themselves, because some brutal shit was happening, especially on Caleb's part. It seemed like Caleb had this extra edge of just brutality and just no mercy. And I was talking about in my tweets how it's kind of understandable that he does, because think about all the fucking trauma he's been through. And think about the fact that he was trapped, abandoned in this same place for years, and he had to kill someone to get out. And now they're willingly walking back in. Of course he has some residual anger and trauma about it. Of course he's going to lash out. Of course it's going to manifest as just him mercilessly killing people. But it was just wild. It was just wild to see how brutal. The Mighty Nine are kind of scary. Like, we don't talk about that because, oh, Jester's so cute, and Ford is like, yeah, Ford is great, and Yasha, it's kind of sad, adorable, and, you know, Caleb, he's our sad boy, you know, and Veth is funny, and Bo is kind of just awkward, you know. Who else am I missing? Oh, yes, and Caduceus is just the best. So we kind of like, oh, yeah, they're so nice, but the Nine are kind of horrible. They're kind of terrifying, and if they were villains, I would be very, very scared. Like, think about it. If you're, because I was watching some previous episode, think about what Caduceus said to Trent Ickathon the last time. He said, and I quote, "I wish for you to find someone who will mourn you when you're gone." That's kind of scary. The Mighty Nine are kind of frightening. Anyway, the brutality, whatever goes on. And while the brutality is going on inside, the people outside, remember, it's just Veth, Caleb, and Jester who are doing the killings on the inside. Everyone else is on the outside, and then Bo is stuck on top of the tower. So, and it's this weird image that, you know, Ashley was talking about when she was like, Yasha's just, you know, making daisy chains outside. And it's like the most intimidating looking member of the group is just, you know, she's playing with her flowers, she's being all cutesy. And then all the adorable, seemingly nice ones are just in there just brutally murdering guards. Oof. This episode, when I tell you this episode was something else, I really do mean it was something else. Anyway, in true Mighty Nine fashion, you know, they plan to use stealth, you know, the entire way. But naturally, you know, a run-in with a bunch of mages and guards and a couple of fireball spells later, stealth is no longer an option. They've announced their presence. And if Ickathon didn't know that they were there, he's gonna know by now. So anyway, they run into a bunch of obstacles. The group inside, they run into a bunch of obstacles. They eventually are able to surpass the obstacles. And then they get to, you know, they find their quarry and they take the things. And as they're about to leave, Ickathon walks in. And that's where the episode ends. Oh my gosh. When I tell you I screamed when the episode ended, when Matt was like, and that's where we're going to end. Ooh, my neighbors probably think I'm crazy. Like screaming at like 7 a.m. But yeah, the implications are so scary. First of all, how did Ickathon get there? Did Astrid actually betray them? Although it's possible that she didn't, but I'm sort of hesitant to give Astrid the benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't know why. I really don't. I can't tell you why, but I'm just hesitant to give her the benefit of the doubt. I don't think she's a good guy. I don't think she cares about the Mighty Nine. I think she's just using them. But I don't know. But it could also be possible that, you know, the Mighty... Because, like I said before, a couple of fireball spells were thrown. The Mighty Nine essentially announced their presence there. So it's possibly entirely, you know, plausible that, you know, somehow an alarm got raised and Trent Ickathon was notified and he came in, you know, to the tower. But it's just frightening to think about the implications of this. How are the Mighty Nine going to get out? And it's not all of the Mighty Nine that are currently caught, because if you remember, Bo Ford, Yasha, and Caduceus, they're kind of still outside of the building. So it's possible that they haven't been spotted and, they're not going to get caught. And if we remember the last time the Mighty Nine were split up, someone died. Oh my gosh, this is just, it happened at the worst time. There's still the looming threat of Lucian and the fucking Nonagon and all of that. And they still have to deal with that. But now Caleb, oh my, can we just, petition to rename Campaign 2 to A Million Ways to Traumatize Caleb Widogast? Because first of all, he has to break into this place where he's like stressed out. It's the trauma of reliving bad memories. He's acting out. He's brutally murdering people. And then he gets caught by the same man who, my heart aches for our sad boy Caleb. My heart really aches for him, and I hope he makes it out. But I'm thinking that maybe the only way that they can get out of this, because I don't actually think that Ikathon is going to kill them, because he's a clever guy, or at least he's very calculating, and he knows that the Mighty Nine, they're useful. Not only maybe they're not as powerful as Trent Ikathon, but they can do his dirty work for him. He can essentially, I don't know, make them do his blackmail them or something. I don't know. And also, if you think about how many political connections they have throughout this continent, and even with Allure and stuff, Allure and Kima, and even with the dynasty, they are dangerous prisoners to be held by Trent Ikathon. This is really, really bad. It's really, really bad for them. And so my brain is just spinning at what is happening? What's gonna our babies are in a lot of trouble. And I'm so excited for next week's episode because I know it's just gonna be epic and awesome, and I can't wait. But anyway, those were my thoughts on this week's episode. What are your thoughts? What do you think? What do you think the Nine's gonna do? How do you think they could possibly escape Ikathon? And do you think there's gonna be a repeat of the past with, because bad things only bad things happen when the Nine are split up. So what do you guys think is gonna happen? What are your theories? What are your crazy conspiracy theories? Oh, do you guys trust what's her name, Astrid? Because I don't trust her, even though she technically hasn't given us any reason to distrust her. I just don't trust her. I don't know. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments, and also subscribe, because I'll try to keep up doing this every week, and we'll see how it goes. Depends on my moods. Subscribe, like, comments, engaged. It's really, really lots of fun. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.